I told you about the hilarious story of thousands of returning veterans not having the certification that civilians will understand, even though they have clearly gone above and beyond the work requirements that you would need to do the jobs that they're trying to get here. So I figure we would do our part to help reintegrate them into the workplace. Joining me now, two Iraq War veterans, both field-trained medics. Please welcome to the program former Staff Sergeant Meg Mitchum and former Specialist Daniel Hutchinson. Thanks for joining us. Thank you for being here. Meg, Daniel, all right? Let's get into it, all right? Meg?
Yes.
Daniel?
Yes.
Okay. Where you guys served in Iraq,
Yes.
and what was your job in Iraq?
I was a combat medic.
And Daniel?
I served in Iraq in '06 as a combat medic, and our job was to stabilize casualties until we got to the point where we get medical evacuation for them.
Okay, and yours as well?
Pretty much the same thing.
Pretty much the same.
Guy gets shot, we fix it.
Well, now you're back in the States,
Correct.
and you're looking for work. Would
Yes.
you like to still be in the medical field by any chance?
Absolutely.
Interesting. All right. Where are you from?
Columbus, Ohio.
Where are you from?
Washington, D.C.
Okay, you're from Columbus, Ohio?
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were from Ohio, since you're the only state that matters. Here's a voter registration form. Did they already get you?
Yeah.
Oh, they already got you?
Yeah,
Okay.
thanks.
Do you want to volunteer at all?
I'm not
No? Okay. Apparently it's a requirement now. Anybody from Ohio has to. All right, so Ohio and D.C. Well, I happen to have two openings, school nurse. Would you be interested in that at all?
A job's a job.
Job's a job, okay. Can I see, if very quickly, your Bachelor of Science nursing degree?
I don't have one of those.
Oh, you don't have one. Well, how about the results of your National Council licensing exam for registered nurses?
No, I don't have one of those either.
Well, we need our people to be familiar with biology, anatomy, and physiology.
Yeah, got that.
What were some of your experiences that you've done?
Well, you see, I was over with some of my friends in Iraq, and we were driving down the road. Big bomb went off. A bunch of people got injured. So I used the resources that I had at the time to stabilize 3 different patients at the same time, stop all of their bleeding, call in a medevac request, and ensure that they were kept alive and safe until they could get to a higher echelon of care at one of the hospitals in country.
Do you have a certification that says that you did all that?
I have my EMT basic license, which is some of that.
And that certifies you to do what?
Take vital signs.
School nurse.
Let's do it.
You'd like the job?
Yes.
Do you have a professional pupil services license?
I do not.
It's issued by the Ohio Licensure Board.
I do not.
What experience do you have in this field?
Stabilize guys, gunshot wound to his chest, replenish fluids, breathe for him for the next 37 minutes until we get a Black Hawk helicopter in to get him the next echelon of care.
Let me ask you a question. Are you familiar with kickball? In the job that I'm asking of you, you will be required to deal with bruising. Were there tummy aches where you were?
Too many tummy aches in Iraq.
So you are not in any way licensed or qualified to work as a school nurse?
That's correct. The only certification I have is an EMT basic.
Now, but you clearly both have had the experience and the training far above and beyond what any of these jobs would require, and also seem to have, and I've recognized this before in people, and I don't necessarily recognize myself, courage and integrity. Which I find employers tend to value. So what is the disconnect? What is going on here that is not allowing people that are clearly qualified, intelligent, tenacious, hardworking, and courageous to not get the jobs that they are absolutely qualified for? What would you say is the biggest issue?
I think between what we learn in the formal training and that we learn in the field and on the job, hands-on, just doing it because it happens and so you fix it, between those two things, we don't get the certification that the employers are looking for.
And what would you?
I believe there's two major breakdowns. The first one is that veterans, that we need a better transition program in place for our returning veterans with big emphasis on resume writing so that a veteran can take his job skills that he did in the military and translate it into a way that civilian employers can understand. And the second, I believe our returning men and women, they should come home with certifications.
Right.
You should be able to do the same job that you did in the military, you can do it in the civilian world.
Well, you're clearly, like, even if this, you say you have an EMT basic, you're clearly would qualify for an EMT paramedic, would you not? I mean, that is the essence of what you were doing over there. You are saving lives in an emergency situation.
Right, we're practicing at that level. Yes, we practice medicine at that level without the certification.
And then when you get back, they want to put you back through training programs that could be 2 years long, hundreds of hours, and those types of things. You know, I hate to be arch about it, but it is somewhat stunning to see people of your qualifications and your talents have to struggle with a system that should do nothing more than respect and honor all that you've given to it. So thank you very much.